In this video I'm going to show you how to make these winter gloves perfect for the holiday season. So stay tuned and I'll show you how. Here are the things that I'm going to use: a 3.5-inch glove or mitten cookie cutter, some red food coloring by Wilton, turquoise color by Sunny Side Up, or you can use any other brand. I'm going to be using some nonpareils and some sanding sugar and some ribbon. Alright guys, let's get started. Alright guys, to get started I'm going to be making this sort of like a cloud design here at the bottom of the mitten, and I already used the sanding sugar for this, and this you can pretty much find it anywhere. It's a very fine sanding sugar. They also have a little bit more of a coarser one that's more like crystals. You can use jimmies, and what I'm going to be using are some nonpareils. These have different sizes and different colors, but I'm going to be using the white, and there's all the really tiny ones. So I have my white in a tip 3 because it is in a thicker consistency, and I like to use thicker consistency when I'm using sugar crystal, sanding sugar, any other type of sprinkles, because the weight of the, even though it's not a lot, but if you are using a thinner, runnier icing and you add that weight of the sprinkles, it may cause your icing to spread to the sides. So I always stick to a little bit more of a thicker consistency. So this is pretty thick. As you see, I have to help move it around and flatten it out. So after that, I'm going to take my little helper from the bottom, and I'm going to get my nonpareils. And I did get this container a long time ago from Joann's Fabrics, and they are in the jewelry making aisle or section, and they're supposed to help, you know, keep your little like jewelry pieces if you're making like bracelets or necklaces, stuff like that, and then you can easily put them back to their bottle. So you can find those at craft stores in the jewelry making section. They're pretty inexpensive. That is it for this part here. I'm going to give them some time to dry, and I'm going to finish up the rest, and then I'll be back with the other color. Alright, so I gave my white some time to dry. Now before I move on to the detail, I wanted to show you that I did make some holes on these two mittens here because I want to try something a little bit different and run a ribbon through there. So I'll show you that in just a second. I did use a tip 12, which is a pretty large round tip, and you can either bake your cookie and then as soon as it comes out, cut the little piece out, or before you bake it, cut the little piece out, bake it, and then you should still have your hole there, or at least enough to where you can run the ribbon through. Another thing, I will have to do the same design on both because they are the pair, and in order to have the right and the left, you will have to flip your cookie over before you bake it. That way you can have the right and the left, because majority of the cookie cutters have a soft side and the cutting side, and they will always have the same direction. So all your mittens will have the left thumb, but since you need the right as well, when you cut out your cookie, flip it over and then bake it that way, and then you'll have your right. So you'll have your pair. So in case you want to do these, you're going to have to flip your cookie over before baking it. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to this design. Alright, so I have my turquoise icing in a tip 4, and that's so I can fill in my cookie really quickly because I do have to put in my red and my white in there. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the entire cookie, and this is in a flooding yet medium consistency because I have to make sure that it doesn't overflow to my edges, especially because I'm going to be adding some more color in there. I don't want to overflow my icing, so it is a little bit on the medium, not too much. So I'm going to go ahead and smooth this out really quickly. Alright, so now I have my red and my white both in tips 2. And I'm going to run a line up here. Try to make sure that you are doing the same design and pretty much in the same spot. I'll run it through here. I'm going to be running that white in between there. Okay, now quickly with your white, run it in the center. There's going to be a space there, and then I'm going to run it through here. Space there, and then the other one through here. Okay, now really quickly, you're going to run your tool. You're going to go down, then up, down, and up. My icing is starting to set, so I have to work fast. Down and up. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring a lot of these peaks in and kind of settle the icing in so it'll dry nice and smooth. So that's pretty much it. Not too hard to do. So now I have my little matching gloves. So I'm going to go set this aside, and I'm going to bring the other one in so I can show you the next design. Alright, so the next design, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the glove again. And then we're going to go in with the colors. So go ahead and fill it in and smooth it out. Alright, so now go ahead with your red and make a couple lines, or you can do 2 white and 1 red, but I like to have color on there, so I'll use 2 reds and then use the white in the middle. And then really quickly and drag your tool up and down. Give it a little bit of a sweater look to it. Really quickly, because this icing will start to set like nobody's business. So go ahead and bring down all the little peaks that you see sticking up so they don't dry sticking up. And then really quickly we have to move on to our polka dots. Making sure everything's sunk. We're going to do a few red ones and a few white ones. Just place them randomly. Okay, make sure you sink those in. And then we can do some white ones, and then that'll be it. Okay, I'll do some white ones really quick. Squeeze one in here. Alright, so that's it for this design. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry. Alright, so I gave my mittens a little time to dry. As you see, this one I didn't do any design inside of it because I am doing some little stitch lines there. So you can do this in red and then do the little lines as well if you don't want any pattern to it, or if you want to switch and have different ones. So also to add the bow, I have here some bows that I already made. The red one is in 3/8 of an inch, which is a little bit thicker. The silver one and the plaid one are 1/4 of an inch. They're, I think, the perfect size for these, not too thick, so I would suggest going with that. I have here my thick white icing in a tip 1, and I just dabbed a little bit of icing here in the center, right where these two meet. And then you can go ahead and add your bow. I already did that to those, but right now I want to finish up my little stitching. I already started there to kind of move the video along. So just basically go all around the whole cookie. Just like that, really easy. And then here in the center, go ahead and add your bow. You can put it down here if you like, but I add it right here. That way it could kind of separate or hide that section there that connects the color with the white. Kind of helps it kind of blend in smoothly instead of having it way down here. So now I'm going to go ahead and give this some time to dry so I can move on to the last one that I want to show you. Alright, so really quickly I wanted to show you how to do this one here. I already pre-made my bows, so I'm going to set those aside. I did cut around 7 or 8 inches of ribbon and then I just attached it with some of my icing. So what I did is I brought my ribbon underneath through the back and over, and then I put a little bit of icing here on the side and here, and then I set that there, kind of pull it so it can stay tight, and then just a little bit of icing there as well. Make sure that your icing is nice and thick so it serves as glue. If it's too watery, it's gonna come loose. And there you have it. This one has had plenty of time to dry, so it's nice and dry. So then really quickly here, I'm going to add the ribbon, and that's it for these. Super easy, and I think they're so nice, something a little different. I think your guests will really like these. So anyways guys, that is it. I hope you enjoy these. I'm gonna put them all together. Alright guys, so there you have your holiday or winter themed gloves or mittens. Super easy to make. You can change the colors if you wish, change the design, or add no design and just add a little bit of stitching. Super easy to make. So I hope you like this idea, guys. Give these a try. We'll make really great gifts. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Stay tuned for more. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And have a good one.